Okay.
You are
Well,
on.
we're on, okay. Let's,
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
this is on, but nothing's happening. That's coming. It says, please wait.
Okay.
So we're waiting. Hi, David.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Got to order some signs for your committee.
Yep, we have signs downstairs in the hall. So we should be okay.
Why is this not going?
Let's see what I can help you out with. I think that's it.
There we go. All right.
All right.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Historic Preservation Commission for Monday, February 13th, 2017. I am here, Alderman Mark Stoyer. We have Roger Retzlaff. Here. We have Dave Boyce. Here. Susan Lee called me. She said she's sadly in Key West, Florida, looking at architecture down there. We're envious. Okay, so she's not here. Janine Mead is here.
This looks too official.
Uh-oh. Patty Olson is here. And Dennis Doucette's
Are we
here.
up there?
Yeah, we're up here. Come on up.
Come on in. Make
Jason
yourself
Flatt is here
comfortable.
as well, so we have everybody except
By the
Janine.
way, for the record, that was.
I'm here.
No, you were 13 seconds late.
Thanks, Mark.
What's
I'm here.
that?
You meant Susan, right?
Did I say Susan?
No,
I
you
meant
said
Janine. Janine's here.
Oh, whatever.
I love you, come on.
Yeah,
I know who you are.
I just had to give you a hard
I know. All right, well, it's the approval of the minutes. January 9th, 2017, do we have a motion?
motion.
Motion approved from Janine, do we have a second? Second. Second by Dave Boyce. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Okay. Approval of the agenda, modify and adopt the agenda? Nothing? Yes.
I was wondering if we should put HPC awards on there, or I know we have a time constraint.
Well, you know, we could, under new business
Well,
or
it's continuing.
other announcements and news, could we do that?
Sure.
If you want to do new business.
No, I was thinking it would be continuing since we've been.
I thought we had that on there. Okay. Well, why don't we just put that under other announcement and news?
Okay.
So we'll do that. Okay, do we have a motion to accept?
Motion. Accept.
Second? Do we have a second?
Yes.
By Roger, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, design reviews. Consideration with possible action on sign permit application for 114 South Broadway. I got an email from someone here. Let's see, I think it might be the, let's see if I can get to that. Give me a second here. Somebody having any good stories? I don't seem to see it right now. Is there anybody here to speak for that?
Yes.
Could you motion to open the floor? Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, and yourself? How's everyone doing?
All right, great. Just state your name and address for the record.
My home address or the address of the location in question?
If you're representing a business?
Yes.
Okay, that's
That's fine.
whoever you're representing.
Okay, my name is Rex Conley. I'm representing Metro PCS on 114 South Broadway.
Okay. All right, Rex. Your partner, or I thought I had an email that was sent to me, and I just cannot dig it out right now, but he said he lives in Milwaukee, and he
Yes.
wouldn't be able to make the meeting, so you will speak on his behalf?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I don't know, could you briefly describe your project?
It is a sign, is a 12 by 24 sign that will go over the front, and a flat aluminum side, 2 by 8 that will go on the side of the building. I have pictures of the signs.
Is this the one right here?
Exactly.
Okay. So, we have it in our packets, does everybody have that? Okay, you said there's one sign or more than one?
There's two. One will go on the front of the building, the other one will go on the left-hand side of the building if you're facing the building.
Okay, all right, I see. You got a 2x8 and you got a 12x24.
Correct.
All right, so have you gone to, you went to inspection department?
Yes, have
Obviously,
all that
they
taken
mentioned
care
that
of.
you needed to come to us first.
Yes.
All right, anybody have any comments?
Has this been reviewed by, On Broadway?
I'm sorry, has it been?
Has the On Broadway organization reviewed the sign?
I know.
They have guidelines for signs on the buildings
Okay,
in the
the-
in the historic district, so.
Yeah, it's the, more or less the business information, or business increment district in that area, and they handle a lot of things. I'm trying to think of Brian Johnson, does that name
I'd be
ring a
happy to
bell?
make that connection with you.
What's that?
I could certainly help you with making that
Yes, when,
connection.
you know, depending how this goes, you know, we've done this in the past, you know, hopefully eventually we won't have to worry about that, but, you know, a lot of times we'll okay something as long as they sign off on it, so. that's
Okay,
what-
so this will still be contingent on whether.
Contingent, right, and they, you know, they handle a lot of the businesses there, they're a business group that looks at all the different signage and different things, and they work along with the city as well, so.
Okay.
Wendy works with them quite a bit. So, I guess not, I would say that'd be a no, Roger, that they talk to them. Is there a way that we could contact, or, you know, when somebody calls, and I don't know, I don't always get those calls, but if there's a way that we could expedite that and just have them look at it ahead of time?
I'm sure there's a
Okay,
way.
yeah, we'll figure that out. All right, does anybody have any particular comments, or? I mean, it looks,
Pretty straightforward.
okay. And you said this is metal?
Yes.
Okay.
Without the information was in there on the sign, but I do believe so, yes.
Okay. All right, Jason?
How does this front-facing one attach to the metal header across the storefront windows?
How will it physically be attached?
Yes.
That I don't know. I'm a franchisee, and the franchise Metro PCS is the ones responsible for actually putting the sign up. I have the physical sign in the store because we weren't allowed to put it up. They already paid for the sign, it was already on
Okay.
its way, so they were to place it inside. And they're the ones that can tell you that.
Okay.
The only thing that they assured me, like I said, that it will be no permanent damage, it'd be no permanent rearranging of the structure. They assured me that they've done this time and time again, and that wouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay. I think, is that your concern, Jason, as far as adhering it to the brick, you know,
Yeah, it's
possibly
the
damaging something?
Original iron lintel running the full width, or it appears to be old. I mean, maybe it's a reconstruction iron lintel, I don't know,
Okay.
but I'd be reluctant to have somebody drilling into it where it need not be drilled.
Okay. Well, how would you, if you were, how would you adhere it? You know?
Well, that's often why many of the signs are cantilevered off of the mason, you know. They have a cantilever frame coming off the masonry,
Okay.
so, or are attached to.
So is there one that's more important than the other, the masonry versus the metal? You know, I just wonder. you know.
Well, it's probably a cast iron spandrel, so.
Okay. All right.
What they're showing in the packet is a sign directly on the beam. And it's got that decorative brickwork right above it. There's clearly been somebody already putting in some posts off of it, but
Rex,
Yeah, it's
your
supposed to
partner's
be.
name, what is his name? The one from Milwaukee? Or
Uh,
whoever the,
You talked to Scott?
I didn't talk, well, he just sent it, somebody sent an email.
Scott Gutman?
Yeah.
touchy.
Okay.
He's the representative from, he's my area
Okay.
consultant from the
Oh,
franchise.
there was a John McCarty.
John McCarty.
So this was allowed to be.
Yeah.
They have different people in charge
All right.
of different areas.
I've got that.
Hesitate was
Let's see.
It's like there's a little gap there, and it makes me wonder if that's already been replaced, or
Okay, well,
couldn't tell you, just by looking at this picture.
yeah. So what do you
Well,
think, gentlemen?
Well, it appears that there is a sign already, there's a cantilever frame that's bolted to the spandrel beam there. So I don't think the attachment, I mean, if they, well, there's a existing post that sticks out, or actually it's a cantilever frame that already sticks out from the building. I don't know if that's been removed or not, but it held the previous sign,
If you-
so that's gonna obstruct the new sign.
That and the new sign will cover some of these little decorative rosettes on there as well.
Right, although I think it cantilevers.
Thanks for holding, Rex, we're just kind of looking at
Not
it.
a problem.
While we're at it, while you're listening, I'm just going to read the email that was sent to me by John McCarty. It says to Alderman Mark Stoyer, I'm the owner of the building at 112, 114 South Broadway. I received a notice in the mail last Friday on the 10th of February that there's a meeting concerning my new tenant this afternoon. Unfortunately, I can't attend as I live in Milwaukee and have appointments already scheduled. Hopefully, my property manager can attend in my stead, and
No,
that is not you.
no. No, that's the, I just lease
Okay.
from the building.
All right, well, whoever that may be. It says the tenant at 114 South Broadway has been laboring to open his business at this location. Since it's a franchise type arrangement, Metro PCS does have requirements such as signage that the tenant is required to use. Hopefully this will be acceptable to the Historic Preservation Committee. Let me know if there are any other questions. I appreciate your consideration in granting this permit application before you. So, gentlemen?
Is the reason it's being placed there because it requires electricity? They have to do some wiring?
Electricity as far as lighting, or?
Yeah, for the signage on the front.
Well, I'm looking at this. Is there any, is this gonna be a lit sign?
Yes.
Okay. Not sure, Ginny. I don't know, I'm just looking at this.
Outside this patio, there looks good, but yeah.
Yeah, there is illumination and
Yeah.
there's LED illumination on each light, or each word, if you will. So that, you think that's the reason that it might have to be adhered to the sign
Yeah.
rather than
They
cantilevered?
have to do some more electrical too, in addition.
Well, how have we done that in the past where we, hung something? I mean, we have other businesses like that we've had that, so. I'm leaning toward Roger. Just hold on a second, Rex.
Yeah.
He's just calling.
Oh, I see. I think there's two things here. You can look at the integrity of the sign, if the design fits the building as well as, if it's illuminated or not. Of course, so when you have an illuminated sign, that's not historical in a sense unless it's neon.
Excuse me, yeah, I just talked to the representative of Metro PCS, just to confirm, the one in the front will be illuminated, the one on the side.
Yeah.
The one on the side will not be.
Will not,
Right.
David?
Could anyone indicate where the electrical power emerges from the building? to
They've
go on
got-
the sign?
They've got electrical right underneath. They've got lighting.
So is there anything there right now from the other previous business? There must be.
No.
There isn't. There's nothing there.
Surf and bird was in there.
Okay.
Anyways, there's already electrical
Okay.
right underneath the location for the sign.
Is this time sensitive in terms of, well, it's
Well,
like
they have the
anything
sign,
else?
it's just a matter of
It's just a matter of
getting
just getting it up there.
installer out there.
Right, the sign is right now in the store.
Right, so it's in the window and,
No,
Oh, it's in the,
It's
this
in the,
office?
yeah, I put it in the back storeroom
Okay,
until,
right. Well, I don't know.
I've got I'm putting together a motion.
Okay, yes, David?
Would it be okay for him to just put the sign in the window temporarily?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's an interim.
I mean, businesses have things up, half sale, half off sales, and they put signs in windows, so I wouldn't see that being a problem. But I think the goal is to try to get it up.
Is there
Yes,
an
Wendy?
anticipated open date?
March the 4th is grand opening day.
Okay.
That's tentative. Right now, I'm waiting to hear from Leroy Butler's people, the ex-Packers. We would like to have him there as well, so once I hear from his representatives, then I could better confirm that date.
Can I ask what kind of business?
It's a cell phone.
Cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's a subsidiary of
PCS,
T-Mobile.
there you go. I need to get a new one, maybe I can talk to you guys. So Roger, you're getting there? We're waiting for
Yeah.
Roger, he's coming up with a motion.
Move to approve with the qualifications that no damage to the decorative medallions on the spandrel or header beam occur as a result of installing the sign. That the existing cantilevered sign support is removed and the base of the beam is restored and repaired from the previous attachment points. That the signs comply with the on-Broadway Historic District sign guidelines and have the approval from the on-Broadway District
Board?
review organization there. They have a design committee, they have a process for reviewing and approving signs.
Okay.
Um,
So that's it?
Yes.
Is that, you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Patty Olson. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? There you go. So, it's contingent upon.
On the Broadway.
Upon that, but I would talk to Wendy, and she can talk to you about that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, too. All right, next, no communications received. Continuing business, report by Jason Flatt on projects and initiatives from January and projected for February. Well, actually, things that are going, I guess, we should have had March as well.
The only thing I've really been working on in any serious fashion is number 5, the historic district.
Okay, I know that's been taking a lot of your time, so,
Yes, and with just a tiny bit of luck, that should be in the mail next week sometime.
okay, this will be like a draft or just what, I mean, you're actually putting together
It'll be the finished thing until the state tells me to make small changes.
small changes, okay. Is this something that our committee will have a chance to peek at?
Sure.
Okay.
I can email it to everyone once
As soon as you get that, yeah, please do.
well, the text anyway, I mean, the attachments would bog down everybody's email, but yes.
Okay, great. So that, anything else then specifically? I would say, I think we're waiting for you to get, finish that as well as it can be, and then hopefully within the next 2 months, we can start bringing this stuff to council. That's the goal. The goal is to push for CLG status, which is number 3. So my hope is that we can get the wording in place so that we can get it through our committee and then on to council. So I guess the only thing I would suggest is that we somehow get to meet with Astor another time. We have to set up some kind of a meeting. And anybody else have any suggestions on that? As far as, getting the word out ahead of time? We've met with Astor 3 times over the last year and a half, but I think we need to meet one more time. I think when we do that, it might be a 6:30 type meeting on a Thursday night. I will ask that, when we set a date, I'm thinking early March.
Is there
An agenda.
a neighborhood? or
There's a neighborhood
historic district
association.
Association for
Yes.
the on Broadway area, the Dawson area?
Right, I would suggest that it would be Astor, Fort Howard. You suggested on Broadway or Broadway?
Right.
There's two different districts. There's the Broadway Dousman and I think there's Walnut. Broadway Walnut. So what I will do is, Jason, if you could gather the groups that we would need to contact, I think we'll have one meeting sometime in early March.
Sure.
So representatives of any of these.
Oakland Dousman is the Fort Howard.
Oakland Dousman.
Okay.
The Fort Howard district, but
Maybe.
Oakland Dousman.
Sure.
So the goal, I think, would be that sometime in early March, that we will have a meeting, probably on a Thursday night, 6:30, and we've met in Astor before, but we can maybe come up with another. As soon as we find that out, we'll let you know. But it'll be more or less support that we are gonna be at a point where I think we can start talking and saying, here's our draft ordinance, and is there any point, I haven't looked at the recent draft ordinance on this, but it's out there, and I think everybody's had a chance to peek at it. Were there any comments at all, or I think we, from what I've seen, I like what I see, and I think we can just move forward with that. The nice thing with an ordinance is that you can always amend it over time, but we need to start somewhere. So that'll be our goal for early March, and I'll work with Jason on setting up that meeting.
Just a question on that. So these meetings are going to start occurring, these follow-up meetings with Astor and others? When?
I think, we had some previous meetings just to let folks know that we were working on this process, and I think they know it's coming. But I think it's important that we include the neighborhood associations, historic districts, whoever are involved in these areas, because in the past, when we tried to do this, back in the 80s and the 90s, we did not inform the neighborhoods in that. We just kind of plotted ahead.
Well, did you have neighborhood associations then?
No, but at least the historic districts, we didn't really, that's a good vehicle to have, so
That makes sense.
so I think.
The reason I'm asking that is because I just think it might make sense for Jason to do his presentation for us at our next meeting, and so we can.
Vet it.
Yeah.
Okay, and
just
then,
go over it.
and then after that,
Maybe we have some other ideas that we should add.
Okay, so for next meeting, we'll have some type of presentation in order.
Yeah, we can heckle them and everything else.
That's difficult.
He's nodding a little bit. We won't
Well,
do that.
it's just mainly so that we can, support him in the,
Right.
the presentation.
Well, I would think we could have things in place. You already have done some of that.
Yes.
We've had different presentations. It's a matter of maybe streamlining it a little bit. I don't want to have an hour-long presentation. If we can do it in 15, 20 minutes, at least get the basics out there. I think that would be important. So,
My hesitation is I know I'm going to Florida in March, and I don't remember exactly which days.
Key West?
There are no bad days.
I know
in
somebody in Key
Florida.
West. I know somebody in Key West right now.
Titusville.
Those are my
Titusville.
favorite days there. It was,
Yeah, but-
July's, August, September's it is.
All right, well, we will work on that, okay?
Thank you.
All right. So as far as the raising, we keep putting that on the agenda. That will come along with the ordinance, so there's really nothing more to report on that. Okay, new business, discussion.
What about the east side downtown?
Well, we just talked about that. That is, number 2, number 5 would be that, that's the major part of what he's doing on number 2.
Yes, but the text is done. The slowdown right now is, and I can't really blame that as a slowdown. I subbed out the map making to Stephanie a couple weeks ago. She was hoping to get that to me this week. And I need to hand label a bunch of photographs, I need to enter some UTM coordinates, it's diddly things at this point, so.
Okay, well, thank you for your efforts, Jason. All right, new business. I've got discussion concerning the Hotel Northland at 304 North Adams. I will say this, we had a very long council meeting.
Could you summarize?
Can I summarize?
Sorry.
Well, 7 hours and 15 minutes down to what, David? I don't know.
Well, no, just.
No, I know,
What's
I
the
know.
main problem?
Well, okay, I mean, Dennis is here as well, he's involved with the project. What I would say is that, and I'm just gonna state it as such. When we voted on this project, when the council voted on this project back in, over a year and a half ago, we voted on a certain business model that was brought forward by Mike Franz and Steve Franz and Dennis Doucette. Over time, things developed behind the scenes. I think the red flag came up when the bank, First Merit Huntington, pulled out for various reasons, and it would take a while to explain all that. All I'm saying is that we're taking about a 1-month reprieve, if you will. We need to, Council President Tom DeWayne was asking for an audit of what is going on with the project. So we plan on meeting with all the officials, the council members, myself, being vice president, and also Tom DeWayne are probably going to meet with the various parties on both sides of the fence here and try to understand it a little better. But I guess what I stated at the meeting is that what I'm concerned about is the building itself. We're all worried about, the financial end of it, the contractors, the subcontractors, all the different, the investment stack as it's been described, that's, supporting this project. But I wanted to make sure that, the building itself is not compromised. And personally, I feel if we continue the way we're going, that it may be compromised. I may be proven wrong, but that's my gut feeling. So with that being said, I will work every effort in my small power to at least make sure that the building is not compromised in whatever way possible, historically. We don't have any definitive answers right now. We're gonna wait a month. We're gonna let us interview and talk to the bankers, the developers, the ones that have been here, the ones that are not here as well anymore per se, and we will hopefully in a month or so have a better answer.
So is the France organization no longer involved?
Well, that's a matter of opinion, I guess. It seems to me from the meetings that I was in, that it seemed to me that they were out, but according to, he's not officially out, so there's still effort
The
there.
media has been indicating that the general contractor has kind of taken over or is self-financing at this point.
Well,
Because the media is getting all the information from the general contractor's girlfriend.
right, so like I said, there's some, there's some things that we have to weed through, and we're still in that process. The goal is that, and I think to much of the credit of Dennis and Steve, they mentioned that they, in a sense, they're moving on, and if this doesn't pan out, that they're working on the Hotel Red Law in Fond du Lac. But I think the goal that they had is that they want to make sure that this building, the Northland, is done correctly, and that they're very interested to see it come to fruition, even if their roles may be diminished depending on what happens in the next month. I think personally, my goal would be to see these folks, somehow get back in the picture. I would like to see
Does the city have a
that.
development manager, kind of a client rep?
What was that?
Does the city have its own client representative that's overseeing the project?
No. No. So, you know, like I said, they said the building was 70% done, but, you know, like I said, I do worry about the building being compromised. That's my main worry. The building can't speak for itself, but it seemed to me, talking to Dennis and Steve, that there would be possibilities that if they could get back into the picture, that we could salvage, or maybe that's the wrong word, but, you know, at least bring it forward well. So,
Well, let me just say officially that Steve and I don't have a position here, okay? We're waiting for the city to make a decision on what they want to do. Okay? We're not, Steve and I are not actively pursuing this.
right.
Okay? Steve and I represent a group that has outstanding obligations that have not been resolved yet, but we're not actively pursuing this. This is between the city and the developers, and once the city makes a decision and makes a determination, if there's a role for us to play, we're happy to consider it. But we are not pursuing this.
Right, I'm glad you stated that. Anything else? Anybody else, any other questions? So, I think that's about it for that. Like I said, we'll know more in the future, but right now, we're still in the process of interviewing the owners and the financial folks involved with this. All right, next. Do we need to receive and place this on file, Roger, or?
Well, we just had discussion, so that's.
So it's just discussion?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
whatever.
All right, number 7, review January 2017 building activity reports. Anything that jumped out at all? Yeah, very little.
Wasn't much to jump out.
Move to receive and place on file?
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by David Boyce, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Okay, review city raised repair orders and demolitions. Got a couple here. Now, Jason, when you get these, do you have a chance to either get a picture of them, or
It's in there.
it's in there? Good, all right. So these are your pictures?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, is there anything that, oh, there, your name is right there. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, is this, yeah, you're welcome.
So there was the one raised repair order that came in well ahead of time. There was a more recent one just in the last day or two, I think, that mentioned a garage. We'll talk about it next month.
Okay.
This particular property on Roosevelt Street,
Mhm.
well, these are the pictures of it. It was a little Queen Anne cottage back in the day, 2-story cross gable, and it looks like it's been a,
It's like a classic profile for what should be raised.
it's a fix-it-up kind of dream, and it has stalled.
So it is condemned?
It is condemned. I don't know if it's occupied or not.
But you're saying it's ineligible for...
It's ineligible.
So
Okay. All right, well,
that makes it easy.
that makes it easier, yeah. Anybody have any comments on that, otherwise? I mean, there's always that goal to say, if it's salvageable, if we can do something, great. If not, at least save some of the elements of the building, if that's possible. I will say that I had another email from Bill Lockery, who's, works in the planning office, talking about
1151 Main Street or?
1149 and 1155 Main Street. The old Centerfolds and Jake's Pizza buildings are considered being torn down. This area is not a designated historic district, nor are these buildings on the National Register, to my knowledge. Not sure if there's anything we can do. This says, I know the HPC was disappointed when the old bar on Main Street was torn down. These structures are in the same situation where the property owners could pull a demo permit and start demolition without any HPC involvement. I will say this, when you go down Main Street, I see a lot of holes. I see a lot of vacant areas. It's hard to get to me, it's hard to drive down Main Street and I get a sense of continuity, contiguousness. And, you know, David, you've driven down Main Street many times too, and you lose one here, you lose one there, and it just gets to a point. So I would like you to document these, and we'll discuss this at our next meeting.
Sure.
But that's a red flag to me, that we need to course, if it's the owner, they can do what they want, you know, so. Hopefully, we will be able to have a better handle on this one, ordinances in place, and I'm assuming that that's gonna happen. All right, other announcement in the news, Janine, if you wanna-
I just wanted to, this letter should be gotten out shortly for the HPC awards. I just kind of want to, I think I emailed everybody last meeting about the nominations that were brought up last year. Residential rehab would be Shaw's Porch. 704 South Jackson was a repaint. South Monroe was a repaint. So another one on South Monroe was the porch. Those are rehab. Adaptive reuse was the auto gallery, the Frankenthal building, NeighborWorks, cannery building. I think we had eliminated Pete's Garage and gasoline bar. So, and socially significant would be possibly NeighborWorks, historical, the YMCA. So I don't know if there's any consensus of what who people, I mean, these were just nominations or names that were brought up. Consensus of who should be, who should get the awards, and with the reminder that it's like $250.
Right,
Plaque
for-
on that. And,
Well, I think one of the
So-
thoughts, Janine, I mean, I know we've talked about it a little bit, not, one year we had like 5 or 6 awards,
Mhm.
but if we can keep it down to 2 or 3, 3 maybe
Yeah.
possibly, I think within that frame, and it's not just a limited because there aren't that many historic buildings per se, but I think that if we can keep it a little more specialized that way, I
Yeah.
think a couple, 3 maybe would be a good rule.
So how do we want to go about choosing who's, and I
Who's-
realize the
yeah, I
time
know.
constraints again too.
We should have the different property owners that are being recommended, that list emailed to all of us.
Yeah, I did last time, I
Right.
emailed everybody.
Just, do you
I'll
want?
do it again.
Would
though.
you,
It
would
was
you?
forwarding, actually, it was just forwarding Jason's
If you
letter.
forward things to Jason, and he can forward it to
I
us.
did it to all of you.
Yeah,
Because
that's
Jason
fine.
had updated the list.
Well,
So,
the thought I would have is that, for our next meeting, that we should have our.
yeah, that letter has to get out.
They have to be designated before our next meeting.
Yeah.
So once we have that, then we
Okay.
can move forward.
Well, I'll make sure that.
So I'll make sure you send that.
Everybody gets,
Okay, we'll do that one more time.
yeah. And then Jason, did you about that
Yes,
report?
it's
when you
at
get a
home.
chance? Oh, that wouldn't have been tough to do, so, okay.
Okay, well, great, thank you, Janine. Next meeting date is March 13th, 2017. We have a motion to adjourn.
So, yes.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you all. We did it. What do you got?
Oh,